Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a regular here, welcome. Today we are making coconut rice using coconut cream. Now this is a very easy recipe, but it's very delicious. Without much ado, let's get right into it. Now we're gonna need some vegetables, bell peppers, cabbage, carrots, onions. We're gonna start by cutting our vegetables into small sizes. Now we're cutting some of our vegetables into small sizes, not all of them. We'll cut the bell peppers into small sizes. The tomato, I'll cut this into 2 halves. I also cut the onions. Now we're gonna cut half of the onions and we'll save the rest of it for later. I'm gonna save that half, and then I will finish cutting up all of the vegetables, all the bell peppers, and we'll place this into a baking dish. Now we're gonna add in some dry herbs. I'm adding in some thyme, some rosemary, oregano, and then I'm going to eyeball about 1 tablespoon of oil. I'm using avocado oil. You can use olive oil or any oil you have. And I'll mix this all up. And I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now while that is baking, I'm going to get some shrimps, already washed and cleaned. Pat it dry and then add some thyme, some oregano, paprika, salt, crushed chilies. I'm going to squeeze half of a lemon juice into the shrimps. I'll mix all of that together and I'll let that marinate for a little bit. Now while the shrimps are marinating, we're going to cut up some carrots. I've already scraped, washed and cleaned these. I'm just going to cut them up into small slanted sizes like this. Now I really love the shape for this recipe. Make sure you're cutting them into small sizes however you want to cut them. You can dice them, but just make sure they're small and just looking like this. And when I'm done cutting the carrots, I'm going to cut up the cabbage as well. I'll cut into 2 halves and I'll take away the stem by cutting it like this. Now the key thing here is to make sure that you have really small sizes of the cabbage, because after cooking this, we're gonna pour this into the rice and we want this to blend into the rice really well. So these sizes are perfect for this recipe. Now this is how the sizes look, and I'm going to just set this aside. Next, we're going to cut up our onions, the one that we saved. I'm going to try to cut this into small sizes as well. Guys, onions are not my favorite things to cut, but we have to cut them, right? So this is how I'm cutting it. I'm also going to just cut through with my knife some more to make it smaller, and I'll set that aside. The next thing we're going to cut is some garlic, and I'm just going to dice this and mince this to the smallest sizes that I can get it to. Just keep cutting through until it's really small, and I'll set that aside as well. Now we'll need some coconut cream. I'm using some organic unsweetened coconut cream. Now coconut cream kind of separates. You have the top like this, and then on the bottom there's some liquid. So I'll scoop this into a bowl. I'm going to warm this for about 45 seconds to 1 minute in the microwave. And after warming this, you're just gonna mix it up and set aside. The vegetables are ready. I am going to blend this in my processor or rather pulse this in my processor. We don't want a smooth consistency. Now this is a consistency that we have, and this is perfect for this recipe. Now this is some long green parboiled rice. I'm going to be washing this really well to get out the starch, and I'll make sure it drains really well. Now to my pan, I'm going to add in some oil. Then I'm going to cook the shrimps. Now this should take about 2 to 3 minutes on one side, and I'll just flip to the other side. And when it's ready, we'll take this out and set aside. Now into the pan, we're going to add a little bit of more oil. Throw in some of that, all of that garlic and onions, and let this saute. By now you know that my kitchen is smelling heavenly, right? Now after we have sauteed the garlic and onions, we're going to pour in the pepper mix that we processed earlier. Add in some of that bouillon cubes, some curry powder, some salt. Mix everything together for about 2 minutes, and I'm going to add in my washed long grain parboiled rice. I'm going to add in the coconut cream, some chicken stock, and some water. By the way, guys, I made my chicken stock. It's homemade. You can use store-bought if you like. Whatever kind of stock you have is fine. Mix this up really well. And next up, you're going to add in some more seasoning if it's needed at this time. Some more water, about 1 cup of water again. And make sure this is tasting really well. And then you cover this up for about 25 minutes. Now, after 25 minutes, I'm just going to fluff and mix this up a little bit. Gosh, this smells so good. And I'm going to set this aside, and to another pan I'm going to add a little bit of oil, our already cut cabbage and carrots. Now 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now guys, these sauces are going to activate the sweetness in the cabbage and carrots, and it's just going to bring some beautiful flavor to your overall dish as well. Some sweet chili sauce as well. So we're adding in soy sauce and sweet chili sauce into the vegetables, and we're just going to mix this up. And I'm going to cover this and let this sit for about 5 to 7 minutes on medium heat. We're doing this to activate the sweetness in the vegetables, and this is really great. I've tried this recipe a lot of times, and it comes out really delicious and tasty. After 7 minutes, you're just going to mix this up really well. I'm going to take this off the stove, bring back our rice, pour this into the rice. I'll add in the shrimps, and I'm just going to mix this up and stir fry this for another 3 minutes or so. Now guys, our coconut rice is ready. This is an easy recipe, but is really delicious. If you like this recipe, then you're going to like more of my recipes, because I'm going to be posting more delicious recipes. Thanks for being here, and enjoy.